Well, welcome back to Traveling McGee. I am back in Nevada. I just got out of California. I was there for a few days. If you saw my last couple of videos, I was checking out the San Francisco area, but now I am on US 50 in Nevada. It's approximately 400 miles long, but it's known as the loneliest road in America, and I am going to be driving the entire thing. So should be interesting. So right now I am in a little town called Fallon, Nevada, and this is like the western terminus of the lonely stretch of US 50. So once I get out of this town district, it should turn into, you know, a lot more type desert highway, which I've been used to driving anyway. So I'm gonna take advantage of this area and get some gas, because I don't think there's too many gas stations along the way. So my first stop is going to be, it's called the Shoe Tree. And it's apparently this tree that's on the side of the road that is covered in shoes that people have tied together and thrown on there. Guess that's what you do in the desert. But I will be exploring that, and I'm hoping that I can actually just park there for the night. But if not, I'm sure there's plenty of places along the way where I can chill out for the night. So the reason why it's called the loneliest road in America is because along this stretch of road, there's only about 3 to 4 towns, and in between each town is just a lot of distance. You know, I think at minimum about 100 miles between each town. So it's a little daunting, I'll be honest, but I've made it this far, so I think it'll be fun. Kind of creepy. I don't know how I feel about this. There's shoes everywhere. Well, definitely an interesting little spot. I don't know what the backstory is behind why they do this or who does this, but there's quite a few different shoes there. A lot of shoes. I actually saw that there is, so I just looked on my map, looks like there's a public restroom about 10 miles up the highway. So I'm going to go ahead and drive up there, and I might camp out there for the night. All right, well, there's the bathroom. It looks like there's another wayside marker area here across the street, which is paved. So I'm just going to bunk here for the night. Out in the desert, I feel like it's not a big deal where you park. I've never had an issue, but yeah, I think I should be okay here for the night. It looks like there's a little roadside thing to read here. Express. Oh, the wind's back. Back in the desert, the wind's back. I was doing a little bit more research last night because I actually still have a little bit of service. I was researching a little bit more information about this stretch of road, and apparently this is actually considered the Lincoln Highway, which is another transcontinental highway that goes from San Francisco all the way out to just south of Manhattan in New Jersey, which is something I've always wanted to drive. So this is a pretty historic road. The Pony Express was a major line for them at one time. The transcontinental telegraph system was along this road as well. So very historic at one point for what it is. But it's just so beautiful. Like I really am vibing with the desert. I like especially the high desert because it's not like ungodly hot. Everything's just comfortable. It's dry. Like it's just vast. I really like it. Just drove through the little town of Austin, Nevada. I thought there would be a little bit more there to see and do, but it looked like everything was pretty closed up. Very small town. They did have a gas station, but I didn't need gas. A couple little hotels which look closed. One or two restaurants which look closed. Of course, it's only about 10:30 in the morning. Neat little, probably a mining town. Stagecoach town at one point, but now I'm headed to the next town. I think there's a little bit more there to do, and that's about 80 miles from here. So, I've seen a couple people on the road, not too much. I'm kind of going over these mountain ranges and then dipping into these valleys and then up over another mountain range and then valley again. So, it's kind of hurting my gas mileage a little bit. I was hoping to be more flat, but we'll get there. I think one thing that I've learned about traveling through the desert or being in the desert is it's very deceiving. Nothing is as close as it appears. You know, everything is so big, it looks like it's so much closer, but it's actually really far away, which I just find really kind of fascinating. It makes you feel really small, but it is deceiving, and you know, a lot of the roads are so straight, you just feel like you're not really moving through it. It's just you're just kind of existing in it. But I have to say, like, out of all of my travels so far on this trip, I have really enjoyed being in the desert. I just really like it. I like how open it is. As I mentioned earlier, you know, it's just so vast, and especially in the higher elevations, it's not hot. It's not the desert that, you know, typically you think of with the cactus and the sand, and there's some of that here, but it's much more higher in elevation here, so the temperature is much cooler. It's also very windy, but you know, in general, it's just beautiful. Such a different contrast in colors and textures and heights and depths. It's just really incredible. This is a cool little town, Eureka, Nevada. Really cool little town. I got some gas here. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe a mile stretch of the road where the town is actually at. There is a really cool, so Eureka is an old mining town, and a lot of the buildings that are still in the town are original, and they have a nice little walking tour, and they give you this little handout, and each building is numbered. So you can see this one says 34, and each building has these little decals on their side so that you can correlate that to the pamphlet. They have an opera house here, and I was able to walk through that. It was one of the few places that were open. There is a museum here. There's also a courthouse here, but those were all closed. But the opera house was open, and they have the stage set up with the original, I think she said it was 1924 is that backdrop, the curtain that's on the stage. That's how old that is. So really, really cool. I could see this definitely being a great pit stop, you know, when Lincoln Highway was a big deal. So really glad I stopped and walked around. I got some lunch. It's a beautiful day. But now I am headed to Ely. So let's get out of here. Okay, so this is day 3 on US 50 here in Nevada, and I'm almost finished. I think I have maybe 50 or 60 miles left, but before I get out of Nevada, I am going to be exploring Great Basin National Park. I'm actually here. Just stopped in at the visitor center. They were closed, but I was able to get a map, and looks like there is quite a few different hiking trails, but there are quite a few natural caves here, which I guess is the big draw to this park. But there's also the second highest mountain in Nevada is here, which is kind of back behind me. You can't see it, but you saw it as I was driving in. So there's a lot of hiking trails that take you all the way up to that. It's like 12,000 feet elevation. I'm good. Hi. Well, I made it to the creek. Walking up to it sounded like it would be bigger, but more of a stream than anything. But this trail that I'm on is apparently, so basically it's an old canal system. When this area was used for mining, they dammed up this creek and they built a canal that would run to either side of the mountain so that they could pan for gold. Pretty impressive, because I think the whole thing is like 7 miles long. So I just came 2 miles that way, and then it's another 6 miles that way. So I'm going to turn around and do the 2 miles back, but relatively flat trail. Little bit of an incline in the beginning, but nothing bad at all. Beautiful, beautiful trail. Well, that was a nice little trail. I guess I could have done the whole 6 miles, but my headache's still going on, and this high altitude's really messing with my breathing, as you can hear. Stopped. Some people passed me along the way. On the way out, I was the only one on the trail. But on the way back, I ran into some people, and they said the top trailhead and all that kind of stuff is closed anyway because of snow. So, kind of works out. This was a good little hike for me. It's good for me. I know my limits, and I know what I can do and can't do. So, but I'm gonna head back down to the visitor center and drive for a little bit. Well, here I am at the bottom. Just want to get a quick picture with this sign. Oh, it's pretty cool with the mountain behind it. Man, that's up there. Whew. But I think that is going to end this video. So thanks everybody for traveling along with me on the loneliest road in America, and for going on a little hike with me here at Great Basin. Next I'm headed north into Salt Lake City. Until I see everybody on the next video, take care.